There you go, fellas. You're welcome.
Cheers, buddy. Much a buddy, pal.
You want to go ahead of me, whoever that is? That's my first when you go.
Alright, cheers, dude.
That's my first lap out, hacks. Oh no, I've got somebody behind me because we slowed down too much. Go, go, go.
Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not adjust your set. You're coming to us live from the Dubai Autodrome Grand Prix circuit. This is RWB and the Porsche GT Cup Series. My name is Draco, and I am taking you aboard this, well, motley group of drivers here as they negotiate the Grand Prix course in this oasis in the middle of the desert. So we're going to introduce you here to most of the individuals as we're now picking up right now with about 5 minutes left in qualifying. The field is starting to take shape here, with Helmet definitely making a case, but there's still plenty of time for others to get through. Please bear with us here. We're kicking in a little bit at the last moment, and we'll definitely fill you in. Enjoy the show as the drivers try to take shape of the field. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we're now clearing out to the 3-minute mark here for the qualifying, we're definitely seeing a little bit of motion here at the top. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, this is an open field. This is not just for RWB members. This is the final week of the Porsche Cup Series. We will probably be taking aboard something new here coming up. But with the holidays coming up here for, I guess, on my side of the pond, but with Christmas and New Year's next month for the rest of you guys across the ocean here, things might slow down just a little bit here. We also have our GT2 races happening on Saturdays now that it was taking the place of the FRX 17 competition that we had. Congratulations to Rigel for winning that one. Yeah, we'll definitely go ahead and check in here a little bit. I did want to go over a little bit about the course here. This was first announced in 2002, and then built in 2004 in October, and it was the actual penultimate area for all FIA GT series. This actually was one of the first. I think we can say it's calm down there. We got Helmet, Mr. Beans, Hacks, Rodders, Limpan, Opitz, Philip Opitz, John D, Carlos Barros, Gordon, is that Fleeb? Wow, I'm sorry there, my German friend. My umlauts are not that great. I apologize. Antonio Armentio, and then we got Fergie, we got FX, Marco, Charger, and Tiger rolling out the rest of the crew. We're going to go ahead and give it about a 2-minute warm up, and we will get this party started. Guys, hang on tight. We will get to this shortly. Have a lot of fun. This car is definitely exciting to drive, and on this course, it will be very entertaining to watch how this goes. As we get down to the last 25 seconds of warm up, I just want to go ahead and thank everyone for coming on in, to our RWB members as well as those not within the club here. You know, guys, just keep in mind this series is all about racing clean, racing fair, having respect for your fellow drivers. But most importantly, here, guys, have a little fun. We're going to get ready to go ahead and get things going out of garage time here. This is where the guys are going to go ahead and get their last bits in, get the last puff of the cigarette, fill up the drink, and warm up the seat here for the rest of their stuff. Get things ready to go, and we will get the first race off in a minute. The lights are on, the field is ready, and the lights are off. We are off on the first race here for the Porsche GT Cup Series over here at Dubai Autodrome Grand Prix. And definitely a little bit tight coming into that first turn into the S's here. Mr. Bean is holding a pretty good lead. Helmet in second, Rodders in third, Limpan in fourth, and then we've got a scrum with C-Hacks, Philip Opitz, Gordon Philippe, Carlos Barros, and we've got one off the course there. Looks like it was C-Hacks a little bit off the case. As we go into turn 4. Back into the front here with Mr. Bean here. Let's take a look at the wing, as he's got a few people going ahead and hopping in behind him, trying to take advantage of the stream. From Helmet, with Rodders close behind, definitely taking care of the slipstream, and we'll start seeing things take shape here. First turn wasn't too bad, no accidents, looked nice and clean. A little bit risky there, Limpan. So we'll go ahead and take a look here. Now, keep in mind, these races are 20 minutes each. And a reminder, once again, the second race is going to take the results of the first race, and they're going to flip them over in a reverse grid and have a little bit of fun here. Let's get through a real quick rundown of the course. We got Mark Bean in number 1, Helmet in place 2, Rodders in 3rd, Limpan in 4th, Philip O'Peets, Carlos Barros, Gordon Fleeb, good old Fergie, Antonio Armiento, the old man, Mr. Charger here, bringing up in case number 10, Hacks in 11th, oh, he dropped back a bit, Marco in 12th, FX in 13th, Lenny De Jong in 14th, John D in 15th, Benny Paulus in 16th, and the Master of Ceremonies, the Chief of Commentators, Tiger, bringing up the rear in 17th. Things are definitely heating up here in place number 4 all the way up to, let's go on board here on Limpan's cockpit camera here. Let's switch that over to Rodders here. Looks like, things space out a little bit at the actual straights. We still got a good scrum. We got a 2-second gap in between 1st and 4th, so things are still nice and close. Just a reminder, there is no pit stops. There's no requirement for a pit stop, excuse me. There's no requirements for any tire changes. This is just a straight out sprint, 20 minutes here for each race. Take a look at the actual front here from Mark Bean as we have spots 1 through 4 in very close succession. Let's go back to Philip O'Peets in 5th, who's got Carlos Barros literally sniffing on his heels. Ferguson, and here we go. This is a little bit of action that we were looking for. Antonio Armiento there, edging out Ferguson here, keeping him in 9th. We've got Helmet now, who is actually being a little bit of a pain here for Mark Bean. He's now crawled in within 0.3 of a second. Let's go on board with him. It's a great line out here. He's actually making advantage of those curves pretty well. And here we go. This is where it goes. He's going to sneak in, not sneak out, and around he goes. Let's take a look. Too far out, but he's still going to make things rather interesting for Bean. Bean's got the inside line now, and Ferguson will go ahead and acquire a penalty. Mr. Bean still holds on to first place as the outside line proves fruitless for Helmet. Nice try, bud. Mr. Rodders now making a case. Whoa, gentlemen, gently on the actual swerving, please. On board with Rodders here in 3rd place as he goes ahead and challenges for 2nd and quite possibly 1st. Rodders actually one of the more solid competitors from our FRX 17 competition. I lovingly refer to him as the Iron Man. Guy broke a nose and still found a way to go ahead and get back into 5th place from all the way from behind the field and a lap back, so much credit to that guy. Yeah, hop back with Ferguson here. Right now he's in 9th, but he's definitely sniffing at place number 8, which is our Antonio Armiento. I'm going to start seeing things here kind of spacing out, but 1st through 3rd is still pretty tight. Let's go on the wing here with Mark Bean. As you notice here, we've got Helmet and Rodders on the tail. The actual differential of the time is only 1 second between 1st and 3rd. This will make things pretty interesting. Helmet coming in on the end. And couldn't. Oh, he did. My apologies. That's a 1st place run. Well done, Helmet. Let's get on his wing here. We know Mark is going to want that spot back. Let's see what magic he conjures up. It's not going to be quite as easy, though. He's got Rodders on his tail. Definitely exciting. We're not even halfway through the first race, and we've definitely got a challenge going on. Let's go ahead and kick this back over to about spot 6. And Carlos Barros, who right now is actually fighting off Gordon Fleeb. Not much there. Let's go ahead and get back with Rodders here as he challenges for second against Mr. Bean. Around the outside, everyone's following that same line, and it looks like everyone's really sticking to that course line. It seems to be doing them pretty well. So if John D picks up a small penalty here, we're going to go on the wing of Mark Bean right now as Rodders threatens to take over second. Check that. We're going to get over to our Antonio Armiento, who has given up a spot there to Seahacks. Sorry, you didn't catch that in time. He's definitely caught in, but ew! Definitely a close run there. Hacks holds on to 9th. Some very smooth racing. Have not seen a whole lot of issues here with cars off the track, and then I just did it. It looks like Gordon Fleeb has gone off of the track. He's falling back and fallen 4 spots into 9th. Let's get on board the wing with Mr. Bean here. Rodders is still knocking on the door. On the wing with Mr. Charger, who's got a few problems of his own here. Way to go, old man. Show him how it's done. 10th place, well done. Marco and Lenny De Jong right now, they're in a 3-way fight. It's a knife fight in a phone booth here with these 3. Let's get on board here with the cockpit from Lenny De Jong here as we take a look at the 3-way fight here. One thing, too, to note with these cars, they are very agile. They may not have the front line up off, speed down the actual straightaway, but they turn and they maneuver very, very well. So while it may not look as exciting when you're going down the straights, these things are still going. Let's get on board the cockpit with RWB Marco right now, who's definitely challenging Charger for spot number 10. In the inside, looks like... Yikes. He pulled out there. Looks like he got ahead of Charger, and Charger gets back with the inside line. Charger definitely racing a very defensive line, doing very well in holding them off. We are now just a little bit over the halfway point. We're going to go ahead and recap the field here for you real quick. At spot number 1, we've got Helmet. Spot 2, Mr. Bean. Rodders in 3rd. Limpan in 4th. Filippo Peets in 5th. Carlos Barros in 6th. Seahacks in 7th. And Antonio Armiento in 8th. Gordon Fleeb in 9th. Charger coming up around now in 10th. Marco close behind in 11th. Benny Paulus in 12th. Lenny De Jong in 13th. Way to go, Tiger. You've worked up a few spots. 17th to 14th. FX now in 15th. John D in 16th. And Ferguson all the way back in the back end of the field. Let's get back on the wing here for Helmet, who's got Mark Bean problem here. Well, not really, but almost here. Let's take a look at what's kind of close. Let's get on board with Rodders now, who is pressing Mark Bean right now for spot number 2. And does. Well done, Charger. And got a little bit of a jockeying here between Benny Paulus and Lenny de Jong. As Lenny's actually in on the inside track, he might go ahead and pull in a spot, and does. Well done. Back on with Charger right now, who's literally fighting for his life here for spot 10. He's holding it close here. Marco's got him by an inch, but he doesn't have the inside track. Charger will go and take it back. Well done. We've forgotten about the rest of the field. Here's spot number 5. Here's Philip Ortiz. Or excuse me, Opeets here right now, challenging Limpin. The Swede with speed. Charger right now is definitely in a fight for his life right now. Marco has taken over 10th, and it looks like he's trying to knock on the door to take it back here, but he's got company. He's got Benny Paulus and Lenny de Jong, and who was it that spun out? Oh, no. That was Charger that actually got out of that turn. Sorry, Charger. Commentator's curse was not intentional. Let's get on board with Philip Opeets, who just lost. He's holding on to 5th barely, but he may not hold on to it much longer. Limpan goes ahead and takes 4th as he takes the inside track on that line. On board the wing here with Limpan as he's speeding down the action straightaway. It's close. Let's go back to a front view here. And looks like he will hold on to it. Sorry, guys. A little bit of a technical difficulty there. We're down to almost 5 minutes left here. We'll do a recap here shortly. Let's take a look at the actual front of the field. Helmet still in first place and definitely extending the lead. Mark Bean in 2nd. Rodgers in 3rd. Limpan in 4th. Philip Opeets in 5th. Carlos Barros in 6th, Seahacks in 7th, Gordon Fleeb in 8th, Antonio Armiento in 9th, Marco in 10th, Benny Paulus in 11th, FX in 12th, Lenny de Jong in 13th, Tiger in 14th, John D in 15th, Charger and Ferguson to roll out the rest of the crowd there. Let's get on board the wing with Mark Beam, who's got a Rodgers problem yet again. And that's what you call a very close call, but it looks like Bean still got the inside track and will maintain spot number 2 here. We got Philip Opeets right now actually went ahead and jumped across, but lost the spot to Limpan. We're taking a look right now if there's anything else rather close. If not, we'll go ahead and get back. We got John D right now looking at trying to take up a spot from Tiger, but tucks in nicely behind. We got Seahacks now challenging Carlos Barros here for spot number 6. He's in on the track, on the inside track, and he does not quite have it. Philip Opeets right now actually putting a little challenge on Limpan yet once again. We'll try to go ahead and stake a claim for 4th place, but Limpan actually holds him off pretty well. But inside track can't walk through the door as Limpan shuts it on him. We're going to get to Rodders here. Rodders now is actually going ahead and challenging Bean on the inside track here. He is making that move. Let's go to the cockpit as he's in on the inside track and takes second place away from Bean. Nicely done on the outside there, Rodders. Way to keep that speed. So we've got a wholesale change in second and third. We're going to round this out one more time here in a few seconds. We'll go ahead and get a rundown. I'm going to take a look at Benny Paulus right now, who is trailing Marco right now. Looked to be doing a bit of a challenge, but wasn't quite there. On with Bean now, who is motivated as ever to try and pick up spot number 2 back. And we'll settle in. Looks like things are taking shape here on 5th place once again. Philip O'Peets is challenging Limpan. It looks like Limp has got definite speed advantage here coming into that straightaway. We are down to 2 minutes left. We're going to do a quick recap. Helmet in first. Rodders in second. Bean in third. Limpan in fourth. Philip O'Peets in fifth. In sixth, we got Seahacks. Carlos Barrios in seventh. Gordon Fleeb in eighth. Antonio Armiento in ninth. RWB Marco in 10th. Someone needs to cry out polo every time I go ahead and say that. In 11th, Benny Paulus, FX in 12th. Then we got a pack of 3, John D, Tiger, Charger. And then bringing up the rear, we've got Lenny De Jong in 16th and Ferguson in 17th. Well, looks like right now the laps have been going for about 2 minutes left, so this means this may be the last lap. We were able to go ahead and make it through 11 laps here, provided that the helmet can go ahead and cross that line here before that finishes out. We'll take a look here. We are now down to the last 45 seconds of race number 1. And unfortunately, guys, like I said before, I apologize. There are no names and no numbers to these turns. So trying to track where we're at and who's doing what is darn near impossible. It looks like they're coming up on the straightaway here for the finish line, which means they may cross and get another lap in. Let's see. He is literally on the line. And we'll do another lap. Nicely done, Helmet. Way to extend it out a little bit there. Things have rather settled down. We got Carlos Barrios right now, who's actually trying to stress Hacks out right now for spot number 6. Doesn't look like he's got the actual follow-through. Benny Paulus right now is going to try and get into the top 10, but doesn't quite have the speed going into the turn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like, barring any miracles here, it looks like our top 3 here, our podium winners, are going to be Helmet, Rodders, and Beans. But let's see how the rest of this course pans out here. We've got Limpan now trying to go ahead and take a shot for 4th. As we're coming through, looks like that'll pretty much do it. We're going to go ahead and hit the auto director in on the... Wow, okay. On spot number 1 there. And we'll follow Helmet in for the end of race number 1 here. They're coming up here on pit row pretty shortly here. Well, we got a little bit of action with Limpan now. Looks like he's going to make a late move, but on the outside, probably won't do it. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, barring any miracles, the podium looks to be taken up by the Helmet, Rodders, and into the home stretch here on the last turn, 90-degree right. And Helmet will take Number one, spot number one. Rodders in second. Bean in Filippo Peets in fourth. Limpan in fifth. Seahacks in sixth. Carlos Barros in seventh. Gordon Fleeb crosses the line in seventh. And then bringing up the next group here as they come into the home stretch. Here comes Marco in ninth. FX in 10th. Benny Paulus in 11th. John D in 12th. Charger, lucky number 13. Tiger in 14th. Ferguson in 15th. And Lenny DeJong is dropped out? Oh. Well, looks like the two Ballas Racing Team members actually dropped out before the end of the race there. My apologies, guys. Sorry about that. We'll go ahead and graciously congratulate Helmut on his win here. And Mark Bean actually takes the fastest lap. Well done. Well, we got a 2-minute warm. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are now getting ready to start our reverse grid race. That's right. If you were in the back, you are now in the front. Congratulations. Let's see how this pans out. We have 40 seconds left in garage time. We're waiting for all the participants to go ahead and start their preparations when they're ready. We will get off on this once again. The red lights are blinking. The field is prepped. We have 14 on the course. Ferguson in first, Tiger second, Charger third, John D and fourth, and they are off. Ferguson jumps out to a quick jump out. Charger in second, Tiger in third, and John D. We're going to have to take a look at this and see how this goes here for turn one. This could get ugly. Well done, gentlemen. Well done indeed. Into the S as we go. And we'll let the field go ahead and get a little bit more organized as we let things take shape here. Let's get on here with the first place there with Mr. Ferguson in first. Charger in second. The master of ceremonies himself in spot 3. Gordon Fleeb in fourth. John D in fifth. Seahacks in sixth. Carlos Barros in seventh, and making a case for sixth on the inside. And and drops to 8th. My apologies. Limpan in 9th. Mark Bean in 10th. FX UK in 11th. Rodders in 12th. Marco in 13th. And Helmet in 1st. We're going to get on board here with Tiger as he's struggling right now to go ahead and keep 3rd. Getting a little touchy here, guys. Gently now. It looks like Gordon's going to go in on the inside and take John D with him. Tiger drops down to spot number 6. Let's get on board with the wing here on Ferguson. So we get to see everything that's happening behind him. He looks to be pulling away. Let's go back a spot, shall we? Let's go back 2 spots here with Gordon Fleeb. Definitely a large group coming in and down the pipe. That looks like Hacks on the inside as he tries to take him out. He gained 2 spots and settles in nicely behind Tiger here. Let's get back on Charger, the old man in spot number 2, holding on for dear life, and Gordon's sort of plastered to his rear bumper for the time being. Hacks right now. Sorry, guys, about the camera angles. They're not exactly the best. I do apologize. As he's challenging Tiger right now for spot number 5. He's going to try and get the inside track, and it looks like he'll take him. Tiger falls down to 8th as he's taken on the inside several times there. On the wing with Charger right now, who's dealing with Gordon on his rear end and holding on to second spot here for P2 if you prefer. As much as he can. Another reminder here too with the cars, guys, these are fixed setups, so there's no tuning, so these are all set up the same way as well. From the front right now, take a look at how closely packed things are all the way up to 10th spot here. We've definitely got a rugby scrum, and looks like we've got Gordon Fleeb on the inside trying to take Charger. He's got that track right now, but he's out on the outside, which means Charger will take that back. Let's get on board the wing here with Charger. Nice positioning there. Definitely some good defensive skills right now as he tries. Gordon now, let's go from the cockpit for him. Still has that outside track. He's not going to be able to take much. Gently, Gordon. No taps, please. This isn't NASCAR. As we get into the turn, Charger holds on the course, but has a lot of trouble on the outside of that turn. 2 laps down. I'd say 9 laps to go here. Once again, guys, just a reminder, no mandatory pit stops, tire changes, or fuel updates. This is just a 20-minute reverse grid sprint at this point. Let's take a look here from Benny Pollins, as he seems to have Helmet, who has climbed up from 14th to 9th, and he might be making things rather difficult, but in the inside here, and took that inside lane from Tiger. The Master of Ceremonies right now. As we go in here, we'll take a look. As long as I can spend at least 24 hours in it, I don't effing care. Favorite car, the Audi RS5. Well done. It's not often I get to go ahead and sort of showcase him, but when I do, I take a lot of pleasure in it. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get back towards the front of the field here. We'll give you a recap as we're hitting the actual first quarter of the race here at 15 minutes left. We got Ferguson in first, who's been holding off the field quite well, and if you don't mind me saying. Gordon Fleeb, who was actually mid-pack last race, is now in a close but very sturdy second, as Charger now brings up spot number 3. Well done, Mr. Charger. Limpan, the Swede, with speed in 4th. John D in 5th. Rodders a close 6th. Wow. He went from 13th to 6th. Well done. Helmet from the back of the field, now in the middle of the field at 7th spot. Benny Paulus right now is at 8th. Tiger in 9th. FX in 10th. Hacks in 11th. Mr. Bean from the front of the field, you can definitely see a bit of a scrum going here from first to third, and then from fifth all the way down to ninth. There's definitely a lot going on. Gordon right now is actually pushing a case here for P1 as he tries to go ahead and outlet a little bit tight there on the inside, and he's got Ferguson literally on the ropes. He's definitely bobbing and weaving. Fergie's keeping up, but he takes the inside track and will take first place. Let's get back on his wings. Fergie now fighting back for that on the inside, a little bit stressful, and there's that run. Oh, they're going to be talking about that one, guys. They're really going to be talking about that one. Oh, boy. Well, at least they can say I caught it this time. So let's, boy. Yeah. Charger right now is holding off third with the Swede with speed here. Let's go to his cockpit as he gets to see what he sees at the moment. Taking that track, he's going to try and push for the inside. Yeah, a little bit of a brake check by Charger ahead of him. And not going to do it. But well done. You've definitely held off second and got a good line there in that line. Limpan, though, is not going to make this easy for you, is he? As he takes second in the inside track. Well done, Swede with speed. Let's get on board with Rodders here, who's now in a very, very auspicious 5th place after starting in 13th. It's incredible. This guy has got skills. Let's get on board with his cockpit here. Let's see what he sees as he's now in Charger's back pocket here in 4th position. Don't knock out Helmet. Helmet has actually come back from the front of the field as well. He's a little bit behind Rodders, but 5th place from 14th is certainly nothing to go ahead and definitely sneeze at here. We're going to get back on Charger's wing here because we've got Rodders definitely making a case here. He's got to be nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs on that one. As Rodders is definitely sniffing a little bit more than just the exhaust fumes from Charger's tailpipe. Oh, a Charger out wide again. He's got a slow down penalty in that case. Yikes. Limpan is second right now. He's definitely going to be... Oh, after losing first back to Ferguson. Well done, sir. Let's take a look from Ferguson's wing here as he's down the back straightaway now. In first place there, lap 5. Not bad, guys. Good timing out there. You got Limpan really making things close there. And then from Limpan's wing here, not as close as I thought. Let's go to Rodders' wing, where Charger is definitely sneaking in, and Helmet is close behind him. We get into the actual front stretch. Let's get on board with Tiger right now, who's challenging Hacks for spot number 9. He's definitely in his slipstream. Let's see if he can go ahead and capitalize on that. Inside track, looks like he's going to take him, and he has got it. Well done. It's spot number 5. For all of you that don't know, Tiger is the actual head commentator here for RWB. I am actually sitting in his auspicious spot here today. Yeah, no pressure, right? So I'm definitely rooting for him here. Anyways, before I gush even further, we've got a change in first place because I'm gushing over my head commentator here. We got Limpan the Swede with speed now in first as he's taking that back over from Ferguson. In second, Rodders in third, Helmet in fourth, John D, who has snuck up and taken a couple of spots, and the old man Charger in 6th. Limpan right now is definitely fighting off a crowd as Ferguson is definitely making his presence known. And it's a beautiful sight to see. We got, what, 4, 6, 7, 8 cars all on the stretch there, and they're all within 3, 4, 4.5 seconds. That's a close run there for the first 7 spots. Well done, guys. It's great racing there. Had a couple of iffy spots there. Limp a little bit outside the track, but still legal. And Ferguson's going to make them pay. Helmets actually pulled up the track limits, and Ferguson actually zipped out wide, which gave Rodders an open door to pick up second. But Ferguson isn't on the inside track. It looks like he'll take second back. Well done. Yeah, but then Rodders pulls out the actual slingshot maneuver. Oh, man, at this point, I don't even know. They're going back and forth so bad, it's hard to tell where one ends and the other begins. Let's get on board with Hacks right now, as he's actually fighting with Benny Paulus right now for spot number 8. And FX is definitely feeling the heat from 2 people on his tail end there. Let's take a look from his tail. Oh, Hacks got a little squirrely out of that turn there. We're going to get back on Limpan's wing here, as we've got, well, just in time for Limp to go ahead and sort of stress that out there. Let's see. So, Limpan, there we go. Yeah, so I'm not sure what was going on there, but that didn't work out so well. And he is definitely fighting off Rodders and Ferguson. So, to give you guys a little bit of an idea, Rodders started out in 13th. He is now in 3rd. He is literally through the entire course. Incredible. Well, taking through to the 7-minute mark now. We are taking a look at our top 4 with Limpan. Ferguson in a close second. Rodders trying to nip second, and he does. Helmet in 4th. John D in 5th, and the Old Man Charger in 6th. FX in 7th, with definitely some time in. Benny Paulus is actually knocking on his back door, and yikes, FX took that one a little wide there. Hacks, who's been a little bit quiet here on this race here, is now sitting in a comfortable 9th. Mr. Bean in 10th, who has definitely closed up that lead, was 4.5 seconds, is now down to 1.3. Well done. The Master of Ceremonies and Commentating, Mr. Tiger, in 11th, and Carlos Barros in 12th. Let's go back onto the wing with Limpan, the Swede with speed. Nice grouping there for 1st through 4th. As we begin lap number 8. Oh, Rodders with a power move on the outside, but I don't think he can hold it, but he's still carrying the inside track on the next, but not the 3rd. And Ferguson slides in and steals 2nd away from Rodders, who I think was a little bit napping on the onset of that last turn. This is definitely going to be a fun fight here. Let's keep our eye on the top 4 here, as Rodders now is definitely feeling the need for the 2nd spot here, and is challenging hard on the wing of Ferguson. We are 3/4 of the way through the race, ladies and gentlemen. 3/4 of the way through. This was a reverse grid. So the winners were sent to the back, which, I'll be honest with you, you couldn't convince me that happened, because, Helmet and Rodders are put up in the front, and then ended up in the back at the beginning of this race. So they were definitely doing some work. Ferguson right now is fighting off Rodders, who's making things very uncomfortable, as we see from the wing of Limpan. It looks like lost someone. It looks like Gordon Fleeb dropped out, but Limpan right now is trying to hold on to 1st, but Ferguson takes him on the inside. into the home stretch here for the next lap here. We'll begin lap number 9 at 4 minutes remaining. These guys are holding pretty true to that 2 minute per lap mark, and the times have actually been very, very, very similar, with the exception of Rodders, who right now, check that helmet right now, looks to be the one that's got the fastest lap so far. We'll see if that holds true, and we'll recap the field here in about a few seconds as we take a look at the action that's been going on. As you can see right now in our current view, we've got Mr. Ferguson in first, the Swede with speed in second, the master, or the track master, Mr. Rodders, in third, Helmet in fourth, John D in fifth, the Old Man Charger in sixth, Hacks in seventh, Mr. Bean in eighth, Benny Paulus in ninth, Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Tiger in 10th, FX UK in 11th, and rounding out our still running drivers is Carlos Barrios in the well, something here about the Swede Scott, member of the RWB Buckfast Racing here. He loves all the open wheelers, and his real life car is a Honda Civic. Wow, talk about a comparison. Anyways, doesn't have a favorite track because they all have corners, they can say, and the usual position is on top. And according to Tiger, a real man's sim race is naked at 45 degrees, VR, and a camelback, and an earn through. I don't know what that is, but it sounds funnier than you know what. And oh no! Back on the spot, and we have definitely got a little bit of going on as Limpin was unceremoniously run off of the course. That may open up things for Rodders, who is now taking first place. I think this is it. I think that's the opening that he was looking for. Guys, we're coming in on the last minute. We're definitely going to recap here real quick. So we got Rodders in first with, and that was a little bit wide. And, well, Fergie, I think you're going to, I think you're definitely going to go ahead and bear the brunt of that one as you fall back to fourth. Here's our course. We got Helmet in first. Check that. Rodders in first. You guys make up my mind, would you? Jeez. Rodders in first, Helmet in second, Ferguson in third, John D in fourth, Limpin the Swede with speed in fifth, the Surgeon and Mr. Hacks in sixth, Charger in seventh, Mr. Bean in eighth, Benny Paulus in ninth, and then Tiger in 10th, FX in 11th, and Carlos Barros in 12th place. We are down to the last few seconds. And I think this should do it for the second race. They may make it. Not in time. This will go ahead and finish it out. And Rodders in first. Helmet in second. Ferguson in third. John D in fourth. Limpin in fifth. C-Hacks in sixth. Mr. Bean in seventh. Benny Paulus in eighth. Charger in ninth. Tiger in 10th. FX in 11th, and Carlos in 12th, and Gordon Fleeb and RWB Marco were no finishes. Well, guys, that kind of rounds out the entire night here. And in the second race, we've got Rodders in first as the winner, and Helmet holds on to keep the fastest lap from here. Definitely pretty interesting as things went out, and I think Rodgers forgot to tell people that he started out in the back of the field in the first race because he was back up in the front at the end of the second race. I'm confused. I thought a reverse grid was supposed to do more than that. Anyways, uh, we've been joined here by FX here as he walks into the as we go ahead and call the end of the Sunday night Porsche GT Cup Racing Series. This was the final race of it all here, and we wanted to thank all of our members as well as our outside members who felt necessary to join us. We always welcome fair and cautious drivers as well as have a little fun. And in any case, my name is Draco. It was my pleasure bringing this race to you guys, and we are going to sign off from the Dubai Autodrome Grand Prix circuit as we close out the Porsche GT Cup Fun Run Series. It has been an absolute pleasure for me to bring this to you, and I bid you all a great night. Remember, race race with respect, race clean, and race without borders. I'm Draco, and this is a good night.